right, here we go again, guys. Back, Keep It Not Tied podcast, episode number 10.
Yay! Number 10.
Do your hands.
Gotta do some in and out motions. Yes, episode 10.
Let you handle that.
Fancy though, because we have some new mics. So that's a
Yes.
milestone for episode 10.
Yeah, we did something different for number 10.
Yes.
I think I was kind of telling you, like, I used to do music, so all this equipment I pretty much had just kind of sitting in our other room. Some stuff was in boxes. It was one of those things where I thought about doing it in the very beginning, but I'm like, nah, it's a whole lot of extra work trying to set that stuff up. It sounds good as it is. I have my other microphones going through the camera, so we'll be good. But then you showed me something online. You looking at microphones. It'll be good if we got this, baby.
Yeah, it's real nice.
And I'm like
it.
So it was really just confirmation because I already had these, so didn't have to buy anything.
You have to go on Amazon.
I just had to set it up. Well, I did have to go to Amazon to buy another cord because one of my cords did not work. But, you know, hopefully this works out well for us. These microphones, they pick up everything. So if the kids start running upstairs, it's going to pick that up too. So hopefully they'll be quiet. But this should be good for us going forward. So how was your week this week, baby? Gotta ask you how your week was to start off.
It was a weird week. Had some excitement at work. Can't really speak too much on that, but it was crazy. It was busy. I think it was busy. Now I'm like trying to catch up. So we kind of this is the latest that we've done the podcast since we've been doing it because we have been so busy over the weekend too.
We gotta find like a better balance. Because we just be so... All right, so we got to give you a rundown again of how our day was or whatever. So just so you know, we film on Sundays. So we film on Sundays. That kind of gives me like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They give me 4 days where I can edit the audio, edit the video, and I can get it all out by Friday. Right? So this Sunday we're filming. Last night was the fight, Wilder versus Fury.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Wilder got his butt kicked out there.
I was rooting for him too.
But we got invited to go somewhere to watch the fight.
Yeah, so
we did that.
And
the fight ended like 1-something. So we got home.
And we had the kids too. So
and we had the kids. So we got home like 1:30, 1:45. I don't know what time it was. Got into bed. Beforehand, my wife was like, okay, we missed church like the last 2 Sundays.
I told him, I was like, we have got to make it to church.
We got to make it to church.
Because we took, and Friday night we took the kids. The church had like a thing, was real neat for like the kids.
They did.
So I worked, we did Friday. We have just been busy. Friday we worked all day, came home, got Chunks, gave him a bath real fast. The boys got ready and we took them over to the church for like a little kids event they had, which is really neat. And then we got a chance to kind of go out for dinner. So we got that little 2-hour date night in real fast.
Right.
So that was Friday.
That was Friday.
The whole thing. Saturday was just...
Saturday I did some yard work and stuff on Saturday. But then we had the fight that we went to.
Right.
Again. And then we wake up this morning. Of course, we had to get ready to go to church.
But we made it.
We made it. Got to about 10:45, something like that.
So at 10:30, but we made it.
While I'm in church, I get a text message. Hey, they got track.
Right. They have track.
They got track workouts at 1:00.
And we want them to where our kids are like little athletes, so we kind of our life revolves around our kids.
Right, and Abel really wanted to do track too, so we went out there. So we left church like right after they did altar call and stuff. Ran out of there. So we could go home, change clothes.
But I stayed home because I needed to cook. So I have been cooking for like
hours.
Because I'm trying to do this whole meal prep. I don't know how many people meal prep, but it helps with us for lunches and stuff like that. So I try to I meal prep our lunch for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Right. Because we are going on vacation. We're going to New Orleans.
Woo!
I'm excited. We're going with some friends. So
are we gonna be there next weekend? Should we do a podcast from the hotel room in New Orleans, or should we wait?
We gotta keep it going, so we can't miss the episode.
Or we have to try to figure another day during the week
to do it.
We have to talk about that and figure out. We might have to just do it with the camera and bring my other microphones instead.
I'll let you figure out that stuff out. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's kind of been the day.
We are exhausted, but
burnt out. Then I had to set all this stuff up.
Yep.
After getting back home from the track workouts and stuff.
Oh, yeah, track workouts.
So, yeah, but we're pushing through. We just got to get a good balance.
We do, because we
be burnt out.
Yeah, we do have to work. We
burnt
have to do that. Yeah.
Out. Okay.
That's something that we can try to talk about later once we work on how to balance everything.
Yeah.
But when you're so busy,
it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we can do.
I don't either.
All right, but let's go ahead and get into these topics for today. I always start off, so you start off with the topics today.
Okay, well, I can start today. So, first, back up. We had, we're going to have some guests today, but we have been so busy. It's my fault. I would say I forgot to remind them earlier today. So, I had some topics for them, but so I was looking around, and I follow some people on Instagram and stuff a lot with like millennial marriages. So we are millennials, and I think that'll be something that we could discuss, real quickly about millennial marriage. Okay. So I saw this article I came across about millennial marriages, and it's basically just saying that a lot of millennials aren't like married. They're more focused on like their careers, their self, and things of that sort. So I'm going to read a little bit of it, and then we can talk about it.
Before you read that, so they're not really married?
No, like a lot of millennials, so like people our age, a lot of them don't get married. So like back in the day, like
so is it really a millennial marriage if they're not really married?
No,
they're shacking up.
They're shacking, but a lot of millennials, like people that are like our age and our age group, they're not married. There's like a few.
Are you saying that they're in relationships but they're not married, or they're single?
Some of them are single.
Okay.
So I guess they're in dating, they're single, but they're not really thinking about
the commitment.
The commitment part.
Okay.
So I'm halfway asleep. So I was looking at this what's it called? This article about millennial marriages, and it's basically saying millennials are the people that are born from 1981 to 1996. And it said they're tapping the brakes on marriage. They are led by their desire to focus on their careers, personal needs, and goals, forming a substantial financial foundation upon which to create a family and even question the meaning of marriage itself. And so it's saying that reasons why millennials have postponed marriage: 29% feel like they aren't financially ready, 26% haven't found someone with the right qualities, and 26% feel they are too young to settle down. So back in the days, I guess, like our grandparents, the average in 1965, so this is some years ago, the average marrying age for women was 21, and for men it was 23. Today, the average age for marriage is 29 for women and 30 for men, as reported by the Knot 2017 Real Wedding Study. And so, with that, it's saying that significant number of millennials will remain unmarried past the age of 40. So, what are your thoughts on that, baby, about millennials and marriage and the shift in marriage over the years?
I'm surprised that it's that late, like 29 for women, 30 for men. I'm surprised that the numbers is that high.
You remember, like, I think
we're considered millennials.
We are considered millennials. You barely
make it on the cusp.
But you there though.
Okay.
You a little old, but it's okay.
No, when I think about a lot of people that I went to school with, a lot of people got married before me.
Right, but then you remember, like, whenever, I guess when we were in Greensboro, like our church family, a lot of them, like, we were the only ones that were married with the kids.
We were the only one with kids.
But then we had a lot of people that were like married.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, and our peers were married or dating. So.
Yeah.
But it's shocking though.
I guess when you think about it, I mean, I think it's wise to get I think 30 is like a great number. Because that gives you time where you can actually focus on your career and be where you want to be in life.
Right. Set that foundation and those goals.
Exactly. even when I look at myself, okay, we got married. I was 24. I was 24 when we got. I was 24 when we got married. I'm just asking myself, did I have everything in order? I didn't. I think I was in a pretty good position. I mean, I had a good job. I was making money. Actually, I was in a good position now that I think about it.
At your age, you were really good.
I mean, I think I was 24. I had like $14,000 in the bank, and I was so happy to have that $14,000 in the bank. I had been working hard. I had me an Escalade truck back then. I had my own condo.
Yeah,
I was doing pretty daggone good.
You were living, honey.
I was living life. Now I think about it.
So April came along, just
that bank account went gone. When you moved in, the bank account went gone.
Don't be told when I moved in.
Oh
I was working.
Gosh.
I was working. So
no, I'm just saying, as a man, sometimes you would sacrifice for your spouse things that you would endure on your own.
Yeah,
you don't want her.
Your responsibility, but
right. So I do things for you. I remember you moved in and you was pregnant.
Oh, you got me pregnant. I'm sorry.
And then the air conditioning went bad in my condo.
Oh my God, yes.
See, if I would have been by myself,
You would have been.
I would have bought some fans.
I was pregnant with Abel. I was carrying through the summer, and it was in the dead heat of summer.
Dead heat of summer.
And whenever I got pregnant, I told him, I was like, well, I'm pregnant, so I'm moving in. Like, you ain't better just leave me, so I'm moving in. So
I already said you could move in before
whatever.
that.
I was like,
Don't even make it seem like that.
Regardless, I'm moving in. I'm there. I done cut my lease, my other little spot. I'm like, I'm living. It's like, no, my lease was up to that. It was like end though, but anyway. But I remember it had like went out in the condo, the air, and it was in the dead heat of summer, and it was so
super hot.
And I remember, like, I was still in school, and I was working. It was like I was miserable, and I was like, I can't do this. So I was like, Lamont, like, we got to get this air fixed, like, ASAP. And you were like, okay. So I remember you had called the guy, and you were like, sir, he was like, my girl is pregnant. It is hot in here. Can you please come immediately? Whatever it takes, please come immediately. We were struggling. I remember we put the fan at the doorway. Remember that?
It was the worst case scenario because the actual unit itself was 35 years old or something like that.
Yeah,
and so I had to get a brand new unit. It was like $4,000 or something. So that was part of my. That was the start of my bank account going down.
Your nest egg.
Right. And then we bought a house. So, of course, I had to use some of that for the deposit. So, but back to the original question. I was actually in a pretty good spot.
I think you were good.
Could have been a lot better. But, yeah, I can understand people really wanting to wait until they're in a financially good situation, which your career really should be your focus. I think by the time you're 30, everything should be aligning for you as long as you don't have any distractions. If you're 30 without kids, then that's a good position for you. If you're 30 with kids, then of course it's going to always be a little bit of a hassle to get things where you want to be. And then that's probably an issue too. I mean, if you're 30 and you're not married and you have kids, trying to find a spouse at the same time who, it's a package deal at that point where you have to find somebody who's willing to deal with your kids and that lifestyle as well. So that's another barrier that could make it harder for people.
So what if they don't have kids? So they're just waiting, like they're just waiting on that.
Then I mean, again, it's understandable. I think it's better to go through life with a mate. You know what I mean? What's the Bible say? A man that finds a wife finds a good thing. Yes. Right. So it's a lot better to have a home.
Companionship and
have that person
but
to come home to.
But like some people are just made to be single. Like I'm gonna say, but they're okay. Like they're content with being single. Like they don't want the hassle of having someone else, and they're just like, okay, because they're just like, well, I don't have to be married. I don't need to be married. I think there's people, not necessarily like that, but I think there's people who are really against the institution of marriage because they feel like they'll lose something. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, marriage it's a contract. It's a legal agreement. A contract.
It's a contract. You know what I mean? So, when you file your taxes with the government, married, and that's all it really is.
Some people feel like if they're just living with, what's the word, like when they're living with someone for they're called something. Like they've been living together for a long time but never really married. And they're a couple. You know what I'm talking about? What is that?
I can't think of it. I know what you're talking about.
But they're like, they still get the benefits of a spouse,
right?
But they're just been living together. But they just don't want.
Just don't have the
married.
paperwork, right? Because some people feel like they'll lose something. You know, their credit to get messed up because your credit is messed up.
Well, my credit got boosted. My credit, baby. You helped me out a lot.
I upgraded you, baby.
Yes, baby. I upgraded you too. Now don't get twisted. I'm kidding.
We upgraded each other in different ways.
We did. We helped each other out a lot.
So,
but I just thought it was interesting how the people our age and our age group just don't really, you know, they wait till later. Yeah, till later years. So.
Yeah. I mean, some people, it may be harder for them too. Some people may have high standards. People have a checklist, and they want to make sure that everybody or they meet every 10 points on that checklist. Sometimes you gotta take that checklist and drop it down to 5 instead of 10.
Because nobody's perfect. You be up here, you be going around by yourself for the rest of your life trying to find those little.
Well, somebody does perfect. The next person, they may do it perfect, but they got a flaw somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you'll never find the perfect person. Until I found you.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say, oh, that's how you really feel. Dang. Appreciate it, baby.
So what else you got?
Have anything else? Oh, let me see.
Let me ask you this.
What?
Because this kind of flows into that. Because one of the questions that was left was, should you marry for love? That was one of the questions.
What question?
You know, when on Instagram put a little post. That was, should you marry for love? And I kind of thought about it. Was like, well, what's the other alternative if you're not married for love? But I mean, you could be marrying for just security, financial security, just knowing that somebody's going to take care of you. Or you could be getting married just for loneliness, feeling like, okay, this person, I know they may care for me. I might not love them all the way. Because, you know, like back in the day, like when we were kids, like I know like people used to like, you know, just dating, but like some people like dated a lot of people. And I remember asking this one girl, I was like, do you like him? I mean, you dated him so quick. And she was like, she said, well, not yet, but I can learn to like him. Like, so some people may get in those situations where, okay, they see somebody who could be a potential person. They don't really know them that well, but they're going to take a chance and kind of get to know them. So, like, sometimes that may be the scenario. You watch that show all the time with them people getting married overseas.
90 Day Fiance.
90 Day Fiance. They got some crazy stuff going on that show.
I love those shows.
That ain't love. What they getting married for? They getting married for a green card or visa or something.
Some of them do fall in love, though. I don't know.
I ain't seen none of them. None of them look like love to me.
Right now, I think about one or two couples.
I mean, I ain't watched enough of it, but
and I watch what's it? Married at First Sight. I love all those little shows. I think that's just interesting. It's like those
Married at First Sight,
where they never met the person.
Is that when they meet at the aisle? That's crazy.
I love watching those shows just because I want to see. It's like a they do these little what they call them, like little. A social, I can't think of the name, but like they take traits and characteristics from certain people and see if they're compatible, like a compatibility test.
Okay.
And then they kind of determine, okay, well, this person will work for them because they have the same, you know, religious values or with children. Some people want to have children, some people don't want to have children, so they just kind of see who will be compatible based off of like a test, like a series of questions they ask.
So you don't got nothing to do with looks?
Nope, they don't know how the person look or anything.
I need to see what you look like first. Ooh, ain't no way I can do that.
And then they just meet at the aisle. But it's for people like after a while, they're like, you know, I want to be married. I want
they ain't got no other options.
Oh, they don't have any other options.
But you rather get a ducky? You rather get a ducky that meets your qualifications? Hey, save the duckies. I need to see you. I need to see you. I'm sorry.
A straight ducky be real bad.
Ooh, you gotta wake up to that
every day. But at least for what was it, like a 6-week thing? At least for 6 weeks. And And then at the end of their experiment, it's a social experiment, that's the word. And at the end of the experiment, they decide if they want to stay married or get a divorce. But it's kind of interesting. And so that also makes you think like, okay, do people really marry for love, or are they thinking about learning to grow to love that person? Because I think love does have a big part, because the thing is, you'll love that person. You have to be in love with them and love that person, love their being, in order to be with them every day, to go through life with them, to set these goals with them, and do this marriage thing. Why are you, if you don't love them, then what's the point? Why are you in the relationship? Like, what else is it? So you do those, like, you compromise. Mm-hmm. You go through the motions of, okay, I love this person, but also you love me enough, like respect. So you love somebody, you're gonna respect them. Those things are gonna come along. Like, if you don't, some people are like, oh well, I love him, but somebody get cheated on, or they hit him, or whatever, like domestic violence and stuff. But you hear a woman, oh, but I love him. But does he love you? It has to go both ways. He don't love you if he beating on you.
He can love you and still beat you.
No, he cannot. Because he don't respect you.
That's different.
That's a part of love.
Love and respect are two different things.
I see what you're saying, but I think it goes hand in hand with me. Like, because if you're loving somebody, you respect that person from the love that you have for that person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Love is a feeling. Love isn't an act. So if somebody
done beat somebody down, or
you can love. People have temper problems, so you can have a temper issue where you love that person, but something sets you off and you hit them or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's an action. Love is a feeling that you have on somebody.
How you feel about
That's
that
how you
person.
feel about that person.
So is that the thing, like, could you marry somebody and not love them?
I could. Ain't no way on God's green earth.
But some people marry for other things. Like you were saying, like
I can see
the
it.
money, or like.
But you gotta you're a gold digger.
Yeah, you're not really in it for the right reasons. And then some people, I've heard some people say, I don't want to, because I don't know who when we watch them. What they say about the people put them on blast. But they say, like, they don't really they wouldn't really marry for love. You don't marry for love.
What? Your friends?
I tell you who.
Those are your peoples?
Not my fault.
Gosh.
You kill me with that. I was talking about somebody.
Those your peoples?
About Lamont real quick. What he does is, like,
I don't do nothing.
You do. If I want to, let's say somebody invite us somewhere, or we want to go somewhere, or with the kids or something, he quit to be like, oh, well, them your folks. You go ahead, them your folks. But if he cool with the person or the spouse or somebody, he'll go. He won't say that. But if it's somebody he don't really rock with, oh, them your folks, them your people.
What's the point?
Because we got the same people. Now you trying to be funny, so them your folks.
I don't know who you talking about.
I know, but I'm going to tell you later. I'm not going to say it right now.
Nope.
I'm going to tell you who it is.
None of my folks ever said that. That's all I'm saying.
None of your folks.
None of my folks ever said anything like that.
Oh, Lord. But yeah, I was just like, wow, you have to, I don't know. I said you have to love a person to marry them.
They must be older. They like 30 plus?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's because they ain't found nothing yet.
They haven't found the right person yet.
Mm-hmm. So how did you know?
What was my defining moment? Like, I knew that I loved you?
Not that you love me. Because you told me you love me early.
You get on my nerves. Oh my God.
You told me you love me early.
You didn't tell me you love me?
Yeah.
So why you trying to be funny?
Cause I don't even want to.
Well, I'm tired of one. And number two, you showing out.
You remember the first time I said I love you?
When?
Do you remember?
I do.
No, you don't.
I do. We were on the phone.
Okay.
And you were in college. I remember. We was on the phone. You was in college.
We weren't in college.
You was in college.
No, I wasn't.
Where were you
but go ahead, tell your story. What? Okay.
Well,
how did it happen? Because you're wrong. Because you're wrong. That's why I want to hear your wrongness.
Say something.
I want to hear your wrongness.
You just asked me a question. When you asked me, but you asked me when did I know when did I know that I was going, like, I wanted to marry you, right? Or when did I?
That's what I was gonna say when you know you wanted to marry me. But go back to the first time you said you love me, so I can hear it.
I remember where I was.
Okay.
I was in my bedroom. We stayed in Maplewood. I was in my bedroom on the phone with you. I remember exactly where I was, sitting on my bed.
Uh-huh.
Don't be trying to play me. I know where I was.
But I wasn't in college.
Where were you at?
Because I was in my parents' house off Highway 111, sitting in my bedroom.
Oh, I thought you was in college. I don't know, but were you in college?
I was getting ready to go to college.
Okay. I thought you were in college. Don't be trying to.
It was like a month or two before I left, probably.
Okay. See?
But do you remember how I said it? Cause I set it up a special way.
What you said, baby? Tell me.
You don't remember, do you? I always said this is stuff I always remember.
How you be remembering stuff? You don't remember anything. What you say? Tell what you do.
See, I was a little bit nervous, whereas I thought you loved me, but I wasn't 100% sure. So I didn't want to say it, and you ain't say it back. So, and I had been planning this for like a couple of days. Like, okay, I'm gonna say it, but I gotta set it up right. So I said, we ready to go off the phone. I said, what would you say if I said I love you?
Oh.
And you said, I say I love you. You said I say I love you too.
Thank you.
Right. Then I said I love you. So I love you too. I was like, yee. I was like, all right, I'll talk to you later. Click. Like, yee. Got her.
You did a hug. I can't stand you.
Got her.
And that was it.
And that was it. Yeah. But back to the other question. So how did you know?
We know? Like we were, I guess that. How did I know that you were gonna be my husband? Okay, so we have been together, of course, since high school, but it's been on and off. I would say since high school, we had some little, breakups, whatever here and there.
About 15.
Nothing major. Oh. But I wouldn't say nothing major. It's kind of like you kind of know. I guess I kind of knew in my heart, like you were the one for me. But it's just like we were young. You know what I'm saying? So I had to kind of, you had to wait. But I was like, I know he's the one. And how I know is I was in a relationship with somebody, and I would always compare them, compare you guys. You know what I'm saying? I was like.
You told me that. You said something to him one time.
Yeah.
I was like, you said that to him?
I sure did, because I'm like, Lamont wouldn't do this, or Lamont wouldn't act like this, so he wouldn't respond, because I know, you a good guy. So I was like, he wouldn't act like this. You ain't, you ain't it. Like, you trash. I can't do it. I can't do this. So I would always compare, relationships. I was like, okay, this not gonna work. And I was young, but I'm like, I know I'm not gonna be serious with this person. So I think whenever we had broke up, and then whenever we had got back together that time with the you had that bad dog, you had Faith. That time we got back together, then I kind of knew, I felt a sense of safety. It just kind of hit me I know this is it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I knew. And I don't even think I know I got pregnant real quick. Fast after that. So, but it wasn't, it was just a feeling right then when we got back together that time. That's how I knew.
Because I remember before then, in the midst of that same breakup, I remember us talking on the phone one time, and you had said, what did I say? I said, you don't love me no more? I said, you don't love me no more? And you said, Lamont, I'm going to always love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore. You remember saying that? You do? I said, she playing. But you said it so seriously. Lamont, I'm going to always love you, Lamont, but I'm not in love with you anymore.
I was trying to act hard.
A little piece of me would crush, could she really not be in love with me?
But anymore? You were like a stone though. You like a stone wall. You a brick wall.
You always broke me down. What are you talking about?
But you a brick wall though. That's why I always broke you down. But you a brick wall. You gotta. It's you gotta peel back layers with you. You know what I'm saying? A little bit, but.
As a man, you just always got a little bit of pride. So
that's what it is.
If I see you happy, you doing good. I don't want to act sad, puppy dog. Yeah, I'm like, okay, she living. Okay, I'm gonna live too. One of those type things.
How did you? When did you know? Was it that whenever we got back together that one time right then that she was like, yeah, I know that's gonna be my wife.
I always felt like you were the one, but I didn't know if it was gonna actually work. Just because of our personalities, we just always Clash. And I remember P always used to say, man, y'all just alike. Shay, she just like you, man. She's the girl version of you. And, people always say opposites attract.
Yeah.
But
You think we had alike?
I don't really think so. I think,
We had alike.
but you remember like when you was in school and you did like that project in home ec and you put my name up there or something as somebody that you learned a lot from, or remember that? And I always thought about that, and I thought about like certain conversations we had, sometimes how we handle arguments. You started doing things that I would do. I'm not sure if you remember that or you can agree.
I don't know.
You don't? It was just like being short sometimes, like you mad and just being short and stuff.
But you short, and I would like always go, like I was going on and on.
But then you started
on.
being short too.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe because I was a little bit older, I felt like you kind of started mimicking some of my ways, and that kind of just made us clash. Because like, okay, it's one thing like when somebody else is like one person on offense, one person on defense, but then like when you both on defense, nobody's trying to resolve it. You know what I mean? And so I think that's kind of what our problem was. And I didn't really know if it would, if it would end up like working out.
Because I was like I had a little hood to him a little bit, he was.
It didn't even have anything to do with that.
Like a little way that, I don't know.
It was just like we always clash.
We clash.
Cause like even so I guess once you got pregnant, it was like okay, everything kind of felt right again. But even within during your pregnancy, we had a couple of issues then, and I felt like I always said like if you weren't pregnant, then you probably would have left. And we chose to kind of work it out because we knew we had a child. You know what I mean?
We had to do the right thing.
So it's like, well, we could walk away, but what about the child that's in the picture now? So I think Abel really saved us and kept us together.
Saved our lives.
He saved our lives. But yeah, so I think that's what I always knew, that I never felt the same way about anybody else other than you. So I felt like you were the right one.
I know.
You know.
I know, baby. I know.
So we got enough time for one more topic?
I don't know. You got the time. So you real fancy. He has a little timekeeper over here. Because last time I was like, oh, we only been going for like 20 minutes. It was like 40, 45 minutes. A long time. So we got it's 33 minutes. So we can do 7 more. You got a quick topic? I got something I can ask. No. Cause I had seen something one day, and I was just thinking about like encouragement. Like, what's the best way we can encourage our spouse? So I know a lot of times, like you might have a rough day at work or whatever, and you don't tell me how things go at work or whatever situation, and I try my best to encourage you and say the right things. I'm not sure if it always works. Because sometimes I can give you advice and then you'll come back with an excuse. But no this, but no that, or whatever. Right.
So from your perspective, what would be the best way you feel to encourage you? What's the best encouragement method you feel works for you?
Well, you do a good job. You give like tidbits and points, and and then too, you're a little bit older than, not too much older, but you're a little bit older than me, right? And you've been through. Excuse me, I just got real sleepy. Like it's just like so.
Just now, I've been sleepy.
Like, it just kind of hit over. My eyes got real heavy. I'm sorry. I'm like, dang, like what happened? Oh Lord. But I don't know. I think as far as with me, I think words of encouragement. You just telling me and letting me know and just be consistent with it and not be frustrated, because I know sometimes like you could get frustrated. I'm like, well, I done told this lady this already, and then I kind of hear it in your voice, the frustration in your voice. So I think too, just kind of peeling back a little bit more of, just being more more consistent with it, just kind of like be some reassurance. But you do good. Like, you'll send me stuff to work. Like, I remember you sent me the, I had like moved my offices and stuff like that. So I was a little, it was a little uneasy at first. It was a change for me. And you sent me like some flowers. You sent me 2 flowers, and I love orchids, but I can never like keep them alive. But I think they're like the prettiest things ever. So, but you sent me those, and then like the other plant. And I think just like showing me, the little like things like that. I was like, oh, thank you, baby. It meant a lot to me, and it kind of helped me, kind of put me in a good space and a good mindset, and made me feel good, good about the situation, more good about myself. So yeah, but just a consistency for me.
Consistency. So do I say the right things?
You do. You say the right things. Like, but I think sometimes, like, when I complain, and then it's like when you say something, you're like, well, baby, you got, I think you kind of get frustrated with me.
I do.
You be frustrated. It's cool. I know. It's all right. But I still be saying
a lot of times, it's the same thing. Right.
It's the same thing.
So if I done gave you advice on Monday and Tuesday about the same thing, then Wednesday you tell me the same thing. It's almost like, well, I can't say nothing else, so I might be quiet, or I might.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're not big on words anyway. Like,
I'm not.
Like, I could call, but what's so funny is like I call Lamont on my lunch break almost every day. And then like if I'm busy or something happen, like one day I didn't call you. You called me like at my office. I was like, he never called. Like he'll text here and there, but that thing would never call me. So when he called me with a hard drive, because I thought it was an emergency. I was like, oh shoot, Lamont done called me. And I picked up the phone. He was like, so you ain't had no lunch day, you ain't called me? I'm like, oh, well, I didn't know you wanted to talk to me. And then when we talk, I be saying all this stuff, Lamont be so quiet. But you just how you, like, that's how it is. But then if I don't call you, you be in your feelings. But then when I call, you just be like, just listen to me like, okay.
Because I expect the call.
But you be so, like, dry. It be chill. I was like, oh, I was, like, working. I remember that. And I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, you done called me? I was like, oh, you ain't called me today? I'm like,
most time when I call, you don't answer the phone. That's why I don't call.
I'll be busy, yeah.
Always.
I'm like, oh, I'm still like at work. He was like, okay.
Just want to hear your voice. That's it. Hear you breathe.
Hear me talk.
Hear you talk.
Because I do talk more than you all the time on the phone.
All the time. I'm not a phone person.
Yeah,
so
you can't stand the phone.
I feel strange when my phone rings.
Why you don't like talking on the phone? It's me though. Like, why you don't like you see me every day?
Because, I mean, it don't be a lot to say.
I'll be saying a lot. I be talking, baby.
But you be talking about work. You be telling me everything that's going on at work. Everything your coworkers done told you.
And everything else. But
and everything else.
Talking.
You still be talking?
Other stuff. Yeah. I just be talking about everything.
But we may talk about, like, the kids or something.
Yeah.
What we gonna have for dinner. What time we going to workouts tonight. It be that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what we got going on today?
Can you pick up Trice?
I'll be late.
I think I'm gonna be late today. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good. So you good, baby?
So, I gotta ask you. I'm so tired. I gotta ask you though.
Ask me what?
Ways I encourage. How do I encourage you? Hey, I tell you what, man.
Baby, you always encourage me. You give me uplifting words. You say the right things. You always say that anytime I want to do something, that if I put my mind to it, I can get it done. So I think there's times where I may feel frustrated, or I may feel like, man, I don't want to do something. But I know you've been supportive. I mean, I think there's never anything that you told me that I can't do or probably shouldn't do. I mean, you probably told me something I shouldn't do. I'm pretty sure you told me something I shouldn't do. But definitely, I mean, you say the right things. You're always supportive in anything that I try to do. Probably more over supportive. Try to force me to do stuff.
Because I know you can do it. Like, I know you have that mindset. Like, you're a go-getter. So I know, like, you know what stuff you just,
Yeah.
And that's one thing you push, like, I'm like, dang, you be on it. I love that. That's a good trait to have. But you a go-getter though. If you want something done, if you have a vision for something or whatever, Thompson gonna do it. He gonna get it done. Like, that's just how it is. So I know that. Yeah, that's a good trait though.
That's good.
Yeah.
So I think that's good. We tired.
We are exhausted. I'm like, oh, I'm so sleepy. But
Go to
I got
bed.
my dinner done.
I gotta try to get some skins tonight.
I got all that stuff.
You got enough energy
I'll be later.
for some skin? I'll do all the work.
Okay, that's fine.
Ain't gonna take but a second.
I just lay there. It's okay. Oh Lord. Oh,
well, we hope you guys. You gonna turn no tricks.
I can't turn no tricks today.
I'll turn them off.
I'm so tired.
Well, we hope you guys enjoyed the podcast
yes.
today. Episode number 10.
Yes. Oh man, I gotta wash my hair and do everything. Oh my God.
What time was it?
Oh Lord.
The boys need haircuts too. I think I wanna. I don't know if I got enough energy because they gotta cut that stuff down.
We're on the struggle bus this week, baby.
Too
We're on the struggle bus this week. We got to get it. We'll get it together though.
Super busy. My mom and pops is coming in town.
Mom and Dad are coming.
They'll be here tomorrow.
We gonna get them on the podcast. We got to get them on the podcast. We gotta work through that too.
We'll see if we can
They're
find
gonna be
time.
here tomorrow. They're gonna watch the kids while we go to New Orleans.
Kids got a busy week. They got playoff basketball on Tuesday. Then we gotta go to New Orleans the end of the week. So it's a busy week, but we may do the next podcast in New Orleans. We'll figure it out.
We gotta figure it out.
I gotta edit all this stuff, so hopefully these mics work good. I hope they did. I hope they did too.
If not,
back to the drawing board.
yes, but that'll be fine. Be good.
But okay, guys, we're about to get out of here. Not going to prolong it. Thank you again for watching. Keep It Not Tied podcast. This is episode number 10. Continue to subscribe. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe on YouTube. We got a lot of new subscribers on YouTube, so we thank you guys.
We appreciate it. Really, I do. We really appreciate it.
Keep following the Instagram page and all that good stuff. So we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
Keep It Not Tied podcast.
See ya.
Peace.